Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Gemini. Oops. Gemini, as always, I'm doing this reading with my own deck, so the cards that you'll see are from this deck. Gemini, I feel like you are getting back to your groove. It's like you are incredibly intelligent and smart, right, Gemini? And I feel like maybe for, I don't know, an abundance of information or maybe lack of information, but I feel like it's the first one. Maybe a lot of information came all at once and you had to process it for some time to put them in a certain order or organize them in your mind. And I feel like, well, the message here today for you starts with this. It's like things are starting to make sense. This is the beginning of like the movement that occurs once you have understood the message, right? Or once you have placed all of the pieces of the puzzle in an order that makes sense to you. So this is the reason why I'm saying all of this. You're coming through as this Knight of Swords. So I feel like this is the beginning stage of things making sense to you. So it's like you have been studying, you have been reading, you have been thinking, you have been analyzing. There's a lot of like mind work, right? Or mindful work that you're doing in a way that you are seeking sense, you are seeking comprehension, right? This is what this Knight of Swords is talking about. So things are starting to make sense to you. And I feel like the reason for that, because the Eight of Wands is coming next, this card came through as a treacherous path. Came with this big word to me, treacherous. But it feels like an obstacle course, right? It's almost like there are certain slots or certain, it's almost like cushions, or, you know, it's like this very tricky path, treacherous path, that you have to know exactly where you can step on and where you can't, right? So that is the reason why maybe before approaching this or before taking the first step to cross this path, I feel like you have been studying it. You have been analyzing critically with a lot of analytical and strategic thinking, right? It's like your mind is on fire in a sense that things are, it's almost like things are not showing themselves, but it's like you're looking so focused to this path that you're picking up on the details, like, you know, the tiny little things that could show you the way, or show you the safest way, right? Because I feel like you know the dangers, or you know the threats in this path, because supposedly things are, you know, are riskier here, or like the risks are high, right? When you go through this path or through all of these obstacles, it's like, you know, that if you're not completely aware and mindful of your steps, right, and having done this previous analytical and strategic work, it's like you wouldn't be able to cross it with such, I don't want to say ease, but it's coming that way. Because, you know, I'm going to show you the rest of the cards, but I feel like whatever happens, it feels like it all happens in the blink of an eye, meaning that you have been here studying and analyzing for quite some time before you go for it. And I feel like somehow when you are in the middle of the movement, when you are in motion going through the obstacles, it's like it's such an automatic response on your part, because you have thought it through, all of these steps, right? It's like you were working in your head everything that, it's almost like you were teaching your body how to respond in a very treacherous path, right? It's something that if you think while you're doing, you're going to miss it, somehow. It's like you have to think before, right? The reason why I say that is because if you think during the process here with the Ten of Swords, this is going to be your fault, right? This is going to be the flaw that you are trying to avoid by thinking before, right? So here, this Ten of Swords is talking about like everything that you are trying to prevent, all of the danger that you are aware of. And I don't want to say danger in a very dramatic kind of way, but you know, if you could like avoid any sort of unnecessary slip, right? Going through this path, it's like you are doing everything that you can to maximize your efficiency, or your like the rate in the success rate in which you are going to get to the other side, or you're going to get to the end of it, right? And I feel like somehow you are completely aware of everything that could bring you down, that could make you slip, that could make you trip, right? It's like, but it's like that is the reason why you took this time to think things through previously, right? With a lot of preparation. And I feel like because now things are starting to make sense to you, it's like your strategies are coming into place in a way that you now can speed up. It's like this card is talking about like if you think, or if you stop to think along the way, along this obstacle course, the chances are really high that you are going to fall, right? So in order for you to go through this intact or as safely as possible, right, these things cannot hold you if you are fast enough. So that is the reason why it's almost like you are teaching yourself to go fast enough so that these things, these negative thoughts, or just the possibility of falling, right? It's like if you take that out of the equation, these things cannot, it's like they cannot pursue you, they cannot come in your way, they cannot become another obstacle, right? Like to add to the difficulty of this obstacle course. So whatever happens here, it's like you are gaining momentum, which is interesting because I feel like this is something that came through in the Taurus reading, where they were already in this very high momentum. It's like they already had that, right? And they didn't want to lose it. They didn't want to decrease their speed, even though there was this message for them. Here, I feel like it's the other way around, Gemini. For you, I feel like it's like you are coming from this standstill. It's like you are waiting for the movement to begin, for the momentum to start, right? And it starts once your strategy is finalized, right? When all of the pieces make sense to you and you can see beforehand every sort of danger, every sort of threat along this path that it's like you are thinking all of the ways to overcome them. And one of the main ways is with speed, is with momentum, is with this fast pace that it's like nothing can reach you when you are that fast. And when you are that fast, you have the sensation that because of the Magician, actually this Magician card came through with this blink of an eye, right? It's like when you don't know exactly how you made that, how you were able to accomplish that feat after, it's like, that you thought it through before, so you were prepared, Gemini, but in a sense, once it's finished, or when you are in the middle of that tricky movement, right, that it's like you are smashing it, you are conquering, right, all of the obstacles, and with that apparent ease, right, because you're not thinking, so all of the possible negative thoughts, right, are not there. It's like they're out of the equation. You managed to do so very magically, right? And that is the reason why everything feels like less of a burden, but also much more achievable, right? It's like this magician is talking about something that it's like if somebody told you that you would be able to do so, it's like you wouldn't believe yourself, right? And this is what this magician is talking about. It's like, see what you're capable of, because it's almost like you're not going to realize how much you've done until you've done it, right? So especially because of this card, the Two of Swords, you know, usually this card brings back like the blindfold over the eyes on the traditional Two of Swords. But actually this was talking about like, once you take out of the equation all of the negative thoughts that could potentially become like an extra obstacle, right? Beyond the ones that you are aware of, it's like they could just hinder you in any way, right? Because it's like, you know that your own doubts could potentially bring you down or make you fall or make you slip and trip, right, along the way, despite all of your preparation. So this is something that you're becoming an expert, Gemini, that, you know, if you go fast enough, like these negative thoughts cannot follow you, right? They cannot hold you back, right? So, you know, these two here are your steps, your quick steps, I want to say, and, you know, pushing away all of the potential negativity that could make you slip, right? So here it is. It's like the magician is saying, yes, focus on the things that you are able to see, and the things that really don't matter, like forget about them. Really take that out of your mind, take that out of the equation, because seeing only what you are able to see, what's in front of you, it's going to give you like this hyper focus that is needed for you to have the sensation that things are happening in this blink of an eye, right? Because in a way that feels like achievable, right? Things that maybe you thought were impossible, even though you were thinking and preparing and studying it, right? It's like, even though that part was done, right, you were prepared enough, there's also this like cutting out all of the overthinking while you're doing it. So it's almost like activate this, you know, quick steps, this it's almost like the automatic steps that you have trained your body, or you have trained your mind to do so in a way that is, what is the word? It's like impenetrable, right? It's like it's untouchable. There's no way that any sort of influence, whether good or bad, can come your way, right, and impact the way that you are so efficiently accomplishing this obstacle course, and happening, I want to say, faster than you realize, right? Because, okay, so because of this, you know, this thing that is happening in the blink of an eye with the magician, that you're not seeing exactly how you made it, right? Even though you prepared, right? I want to make this very clear, Gemini. It's like, you know exactly what you have to do. But once you are in the go, when you are moving, you are not analyzing anymore. It's like that part is done. You're not, it's like, it's already in place, right? And so here with the Tower coming next, it's like when you focus on just the quick steps, right? Just the automatic known steps that you have to take, right? Ignoring everything else. Like, sooner than you realize, the finish line is here, because this Tower card is coming through as, you know, the gates that you have to exit to come the other side, right? It's like, here Probably there was another gate that was, the beginning of this path, and here at the end is another gate. So you're reaching the end of this treacherous path in a blink of an eye, in a way that it's like before, well, you were studying it because you knew there were tricks, there were threats, there were, things that could bring you down easily, right? So you had to prepare. But I feel like the surprise here is that you didn't think that you would make through to the other side as quickly as you are, right? So this is very, very interesting, because it's like you didn't start this path thinking about the end, but soon enough, and I want to say very, very soon, because it all happens like this, right? Magically, it's like you are already on the other side. You are seeing the gateway, you are seeing the exit, right? So it's like, it's almost unbelievable to you, right? But we're ending here with this card that feels almost separate from this whole thing. This King of Cups is coming after this Tower. So after you cross this gateway, or once you are on the other side of this exit portal, right? And you have finished and completed this obstacle course, this guy here appears on the other side. And I want to say, somehow I don't feel like they were on the other side. It's almost like they were looking over you. I feel like they have some connection with the Magician, and maybe that is the reason why they're coming at the end, because everything happened so fast to the point that you don't realize how you did it, even though you knew you were prepared. It's almost like when you get to the other side, when you cross this gateway, it's like you're trying to make sense, right, of how exactly you made it. And I feel like this energy here, and I want to say, this could be a person in your life that is like, happy to see you accomplish this. But I want to say, because of the connection with the Magician, this King of Cups feels a lot more like this comforting, proud, happy energy. But it's like they can only make themselves known after you finish it, right? It's like they were there with you along the whole thing, right? It's like they were easing up. Is that a word? It's like they were trying to make it easier for you. They were trying to make it more magical, to sprinkle the magic in a way that you wouldn't remember all of the hardship, perhaps, right? Or all of the real dangers that were, surrounding you, that could potentially touch you. So they were, in a sense, it's like you were doing your part, Gemini. You were going fast, right? You were doing what you were sensing was right, right? But they were there making sure that you had extra protection, or it's more like they were protecting your mind, I want to say, with love, right? It's like they were blocking the negative influences to reach you, right, with your participation. But maybe while you were doing it, you weren't aware that they were doing it too, right? So this is the reason why I'm saying they don't feel like an actual person, although, people that cheer for you, that support you, you can feel their energy there, right? At least, well, that they're just there for you when you need it, right? But I feel like somehow this is more like spirit, or even like a loved one that has passed, right? Because I feel this much more energetically than physically, okay, Gemini? But it's strange because they only announce their presence, or they make themselves known and show their identity, but more like as a feeling, right? As a feeling of their presence once you get to the other side, right? Once this mission is accomplished. So we'll see. I'm going to pull more cards for you and see who is this King of Cups after all, and why did it show up after you finish this obstacle course. We'll see. So I'm going to pull more cards for you, Gemini, and also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me, I'll be happy to see you. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.